In this video of today, we are going to discuss the general appearance of the cerebral hemispheres, as well as the main sulci related to the cerebrum. Now we come towards this. This is our cerebral cortex, or the cerebrum actually. And cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres. These are right and left cerebral hemispheres, and there's a longitudinal fissure that runs between them. This fissure is also known as, it is named because of its name, that is the longitudinal fissure. So now this is the view of our brain, and apart from the longitudinal fissure which was moving like this, like between the two cerebellar hemispheres, there was this longitudinal fissure that was going between them. Now when we look from the superior view, we come to know that the three meningeal layers, the dura, arytenoid and pia mater, the dura mater from this layer is going inwards like this and forming an invagination, and this invagination of the meningeal layer into the cerebrum is known as the falx cerebri. So you can see in this diagram, this is your skin of your scalp, then this is your bone, then the periosteum, then this layer, this green one is the dura mater, then between the dura mater and the arytenoid mater we have this subdural space, and then we have the pia mater. And this dura mater is folding inwards along with the other meningeal layers, and it is forming a fold which is known as this falx cerebri. And this falx cerebri also has anterior cerebellar arteries running in it. Now, just when we look at the depth of this longitudinal fissure, we find another fissure which is not actually a fissure, it is a communication between the two cerebral hemispheres. This commissure is known as the corpus callosum, and it has a large number of the axons, and it is going to connect the two cortexes for the relaying of information from one to another. Now, apart from the falx cerebri that was running between the two cerebral cortexes, we have this second fold which is known as the tentorium cerebelli, and it is a fold of the dura mater that is going to separate the cerebral cortex or the cerebrum from the cerebellum. So cerebrum is separated from the cerebellum by a fold of the dura mater which is known as the tentorium cerebelli. Now we know that our brain is convoluted and it has a lot of convulsions. So there is one fold that is forming, that is known as the gyrus, and other is a slit like appearance, and this is known as a sulcus. So sulcus and slit, they are resonating with each other. So sulcus is a slit, whereas the fold is a gyrus. So between the two sulci there is one gyrus. So up till now we have discussed about the longitudinal cerebral fissure, this one, then the corpus callosum, then falx cerebri, anterior cerebellar arteries, then the second fold, the tentorium cerebelli. After that we have talked about the folds which are known as the gyri, and the sulcus or the slits which are known as the fissures or sulci. Then your whole of the cerebral or the cerebrum is divided into a large number of the lobes. There are 4 in number, and these lobes are the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, and the temporal lobe. One thing you need to know, that between the frontal lobe and the parietal lobe we have this main sulcus. It is known as the central sulcus, and when the central sulcus is going to separate the frontal lobe from the parietal lobe. Secondly, we have another sulcus which is a big one. This is known as the lateral sulcus. The lateral sulcus is going to separate your temporal lobe from the frontal as well as the parietal lobe. So you see the temporal lobe is separated from the frontal as well as the parietal lobe by the means of this lateral sulcus. So this was the lateral sulcus, and this was the frontal or the central sulcus. And central sulcus is going to separate frontal lobe from the parietal lobe, whereas this lateral sulcus is going to separate the frontal lobe from the temporal lobe and the parietal lobe from the temporal lobe as well. So now you are well equipped with the lobes of your brain, then the central sulcus as well as the lateral sulcus. Now we are going to talk about the main sulci, which is, first one is the central sulcus, and they tell you it is located in the superior medial border of the hemisphere, and it is 0.4 inches or 1 centimeter behind the midpoint, and it runs downward and forward across the lateral aspect of the hemisphere as well. So now they tell you that this frontal, the lobe, the central sulcus, that is this one sulcus, it is located on the superior medial border, and you can see that it is not located a little bit in the center, rather it is having a little bit distance from the center, that is about 0.4 inches, and this superior medial fissure, it runs on the lateral surface of your cerebral hemispheres. Now you should know that the central sulcus and the lateral sulcus, both of them are running on the lateral surfaces of the cerebral hemispheres, and this is on the inferior lateral surface of the cerebral hemisphere, that is why it is known as the lateral sulcus, whereas this is on the superior medial but the lateral surface of the cerebral hemisphere. Superior medial means on the superior portion, a little bit medially, but it is on the lateral surface of the cerebral hemisphere and not on the interior side, that is why it has this name. Now we have two other sulcus which are located on the medial surfaces. So now when we look on the medial surface, it means now we have cut the brain between the two cerebral hemispheres, so we can see the corpus callosum very clearly now. So we come to know that there is a sulcus on the medial surface. This sulcus is between the parietal lobe and the occipital lobe, and if this is the occipital pole, so it is a little bit 5 centimeters. This parieto-occipital sulcus is 5 centimeters anterior to the parietal lobe. So this parieto-occipital sulcus, that is between the parietal lobe and the occipital lobe. For example, if there is a dot-like thing, that is known as the occipital pole. So this sulcus is 5 centimeters anterior to this occipital pole. Now what happens is, there is another sulcus as well, which is known as the calcarine sulcus, that is going to separate your occipital lobe from the temporal lobe. So now your occipital lobe is segregated superiorly by this parieto-occipital sulcus and inferiorly by this sulcus, which is the calcarine sulcus between the occipital lobe and the temporal lobe. Now you can see as well that this calcarine sulcus is on the posterior side of this corpus callosum, and it is moving from the posterior side of the corpus callosum to the occipital pole, and it is moving backwards. You can see it is moving backwards to the occipital pole. Now when we remove the parietal lobe of the cerebral hemispheres, we come to find another type of substance. This is known as the insula. So you have removed the parietal lobe. This was the parietal lobe region, and what you come to know over here, this is the insula, and it is another type of the lobe of your cerebrum. So now this diagram gives you a very nice overview that these are your lateral surfaces and these are your medial surfaces, and on the lateral surfaces you can see this central sulcus separating the frontal from the parietal lobe, and this lateral sulcus separating the frontal from the temporal and the parietal from the temporal lobe. Similarly, when we look at the medial side, we find two sulci now. One is this parieto-occipital sulcus between the parietal and the occipital lobe, and one is this, you can also call it the occipitotemporal sulcus over here, but it has a fancy name, that is the calcarine sulcus. And you can see this parieto-occipital and the calcarine sulcus are meeting each other over here. Now this calcarine sulcus is actually having a beginning just posterior to the corpus callosum, and it moves backwards and then downwards to reach the occipital pole. Now we are done with our main sulci. In the next video we will move toward the superolateral surfaces, medial and inferior surfaces, and the lobes and sulci and gyri associated with them.